I've got a poem here that's about the flat that I lived in on the terrace in Wellington. So I have called the poem "The Flat on the Terrace," and it's a memory of some of the things that went on then. So here we go. I walk along the terrace, see the flat I lived in for years and years. I had no cares back then beyond knowing where the next CD was going to come from. My flatmates thought I was mad. And these were people that cheated on their girlfriends, took carving knives with them for late night walks, just in case. One of them tried to kill a mouse by smearing peanut butter on a golf putting return machine. One of them drank cups of tea while shitting. One of them watched pornos while doing his taxes. I wanted to shout, "And I'm the bad guy?" like Michael Douglas does in that film. Hang on, maybe I hadn't even quite seen that just then. It was madness, though. That's for fucking sure. No one carried a key, and one day, when the window wasn't unlatched for someone to open and step through, he just threw his drink bottle through it, pushed the glass aside and stepped in, no problem. When it was my night to cook, I'd write a cheque for the pizza place and disappear, go elsewhere, anywhere else, possibly in a bunker because the cheque would likely bounce. I had a room full of music and cigarette smoke, a head full of possibly undiagnosed anxiety or more likely laziness, and I had about 50 or 60 square grid maths books that I wrote poems in. The others in the flat could not handle that. The time when I found a guy taking a piss into an electric frying pan on my bed seemed reasonable, particularly when he explained that the drinking game in the other room had it that no one was allowed to urinate. Several of the others had pissed themselves in front of each other, probably mid-swig, but this guy had standards and a contingency. And this wasn't even the worst thing that could happen of a night. We rode a shopping trolley down the stairs and into the wall, missing a giant window that could have launched at least one of us into a waiting hospital bed. We drank a 5-litre bottle of whiskey on a pouring frame in one night and someone got laid out for denying a shot. And all of this and so much more comes flooding back to me on Wednesdays, after lunch, having finished one job to get to another and then down the road from there to collect my son from his school. I look across the road at the house, somehow still standing, and I think of Tom Waits and Bukowski and teaching drum lessons in the lounge while my protesting flatmate tried to watch TV at the same time, his arms folded, his brow knotted. I think of Baxter and Sam Hunt and Loris Edmond, and the one-night stand that was referred to as a spear chucker, presumably because of the colour of her skin, and that any of these sins don't come close to the very worst of our behaviour back then. I heard one of the guys is a merchant banker. Well, why not? He was rehearsing for that gig when he was sleepwalking blind drunk to shit on a couch. The other two I have no idea, commerce degrees, and they graduated long before me. We're all lucky to be alive, and beyond that, to not know anything much about each other anymore.